We're here to help get your in-ground fence up and running so your pet can have the freedom to enjoy his yard. The wire brake locator is designed to find complete breaks in the boundary wire. In addition to the wire brake locator kit, you will also need 2 AAA batteries. Wire breaks are commonly found at the wire exit point of the house, where the twisted pair of wires enters the ground from the house, where the wires cross driveways or sidewalks, around landscaping due to digging, or where working up the soil. Unplug the AC power adapter from the transmitter. Disconnect the boundary wires from the transmitter. Connect the 2 boundary wires to the 2 red loop wire connectors on the wire brake locator transmitter. For proper operation of the transmitter, 2 separate grounding wires must be connected to the black ground terminals of the wire brake locator transmitter. Strip 3/8 of an inch of the insulation off the wire on one end of the spool. Insert the stripped end of the spool into one of the ground terminals on the wire brake locator transmitter. Each ground connection on the transmitter must be connected to a separate grounding stake. Cut the wire and strip 2 inches of the insulation off the wire to connect to the grounding stake. Place the wire through the small hole in the grounding stake and twist the wires tightly. Make sure the copper is making good connection with the metal on the grounding stake. Repeat these steps on the second grounding stake. For proper electrical grounding, the earth must be wet. Several gallons of water may need to be poured around the grounding stakes to moisten dry earth. Insert the grounding stakes into the ground about 8 inches deep, with about 2 inches remaining from the end. Verify that the loop and ground wire connections at the wire brake locator transmitter are securely installed. The wire brake transmitter is powered using a Radio Systems Corporation 12-volt AC adapter. Plug in the power adapter. The green light will flash quickly indicating power is supplied. Install 2 AAA alkaline batteries in the receiver. Set the AM/FM selector to AM. Turn the receiver on and adjust the tuning dial to the lower end of the tuning band, below 620 kHz when possible. Attach the receiver to the mounting fixture on the expandable handle using the 2 cable ties. The receiver speaker should be located at the back side of the fixture. Do not over-tighten the cable ties. Wrap the silver receiver neck loop around the pole. The transmitter outputs a separate unique signal on each of the boundary wires connected to the wire brake locator transmitter. A continuous low-frequency tone is transmitted on one of the boundary wires. An intermittent higher tone is transmitted on the other boundary wire. The receiver is used to pick up these tones. Be sure to separate the wires by several feet to prevent both signals from being picked up together. Adjust the receiver volume so the signals are loud enough to easily hear the tones over normal outdoor noise. While trying to locate the brake, swing the unit from side to side and continue in the direction with the greatest sound volume. As you near a brake or pass over a brake, the volume will decrease and/or it will change from one tone to the other. This will depend upon whether there are multiple brakes. For a single brake, the tone will change from one to another, intermittent to continuous or continuous to intermittent. There will be a decrease in sound volume over the brake. If there are multiple brakes, the sound volume will decrease and disappear at the brake. Using the receiver, the 2 transmitted signals mix over the twisted pair going from the transmitter to the boundary loop. You will hear both the low-frequency continuous tone and the higher-frequency intermittent tone together. If both wires are damaged in the twisted pair, the signal from the receiver will decrease as you near the brake and quit after you have passed the brake. When you get to the end of the twisted pair at the boundary loop, the signals will separate again, and you will hear one signal as you follow the boundary wire in one direction, and you will hear the other signal as you follow the boundary wire in the other direction. Choose a boundary direction and continue walking along the boundary wire. When you come to a break in the boundary wire, there will be either no signal, or the signal will cross over from intermittent to continuous or continuous to intermittent. Once you've identified the general location of the wire break, move the receiver 2 to 3 feet from the break. Turn the volume down on the receiver until you only hear the sound when you are directly over the wire. Move the receiver towards the wire break. When the sound disappears, you have located the break. The break should be directly below the receiver. When you have found the location of the wire break, you will need to dig the wire ends out of the ground to make the repairs. Be careful not to damage the wire by digging 4 to 5 inches to the side of the wire. Strip approximately 3/8 of an inch of insulation off the ends of the boundary wires to be spliced. Make sure the copper boundary wire is not corroded. Insert the stripped ends into the wire nut and twist the wire nut around the wires. Ensure that there is no copper exposed beyond the end of the wire nut. Tie a knot 3 to 4 inches from the wire nut. Ensure that the wire nut is secure on the wire splice. Once you have securely spliced the wires together, open the lid of the gel-filled capsule and insert the wire nut as deeply as possible into the waterproof gel inside the capsule. Snap the lid of the capsule shut. If your splice pulls loose, the entire system will fail, so make sure your splice is secure. Make sure to have enough wire to repair the break. You will need a length of wire at least 2 feet longer than the distance between the two ends of exposed clean copper wire. After you have repaired the wire break, take the receiver and continue walking around the boundary to verify there are no more wire breaks. If there are no more wire breaks, you will hear intermittent and continuous tones all the way around the boundary. Connect your fence transmitter to the boundary wire and check that the loop light is lit. If the loop light is not lit, there may be another break in the wire. For solutions not shown in the video, please consult the operating guide or visit petsafe.net.
We invite you to visit www.flexpets.com. Call us today at 877-902-8132 or email us at info@flexpets.com and experience the FlexPets difference.